Pop Music Station DWJE 88.1 FM Radyo Pangasinan.
Paboritong ang kabataan at matatanda. Paboritong pakinggan sa bus, tricycle, jeep at mga opisina. Paborito mo, paborito ko, paborito natin lahat. DWJE 88.1 FM Radyo Pangasinan.
Number one pop music station.
Paborito.
Ang susunod na programa ay rated GP.
GP? Ano yun?
Garantisadong pampaborito. Ang inyong mapapakinggan ay isang bayad na programa. Anumang opinyon, balita o pahayag ay walang kinalaman ang himpilang ito. SBM Saray Balitan Matua ed Radyo Pangasinan. Programan magipasabi na Saray Matuan nagagawa ed balay, probinsya, bansa, tanjat intiron mundo. SBM Saray Balitan Matua ed Radyo Pangasinan. Kaulok, Kaantabayo, say lawas kaaro tang kapaborito yo. Joseph Kanilang Bakani. SBM Saray Balitan Matua ed Radyo Pangasinan. Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 9 hanggang alas 10 na kabuwasan. SBM
Masantosan Magayagan Kabuasan Pangasinan Dagupan. Wadya lalamat sa Saray Balitan Matua SBM kontra at Saray MBTF. Managbalitay tila tan fake news. Judge Sayan Agaw nakaulop na nakanta bayo lalangula. Sulawas kaarotan kapaborito yo JCB Joseph Kanilang Bakani. Judge Technical Side kanta bay tayo mat si E&D Engineer Nixon Dakal. Petsa 23 latatang tanagagik at bulan na Pebrero taon 2026. Samput ya simba at bulan na Pebrero. Next week, Marsula. Kumusta kila ay? Kumusta kila mga kapaborito? Okay ba ang inyong mga weekends? Kung ako po ang inyong tatanungin, if you're gonna ask me, ako po naman po ay masaya. Kasi nagkita-kita na naman po yung mga nagkita-kita po kami ng aking mga kaklase sa high school, sa may St. John Cathedral High School, Catholic School. Sa birthday celebration ng isa sa mga beautiful girls, sa mga beautiful girls sa aming batch at kaklase sa Fort Solomon. Yan. Si Fabiola aka Bingsky. Happy birthday Bingsky. At syempre sa mga iba pang nakasama natin kahapon dyan sa may Barangay Sungkoy, doon sa napakaganda at napakaayos na rest house ng ating classmate na si Sheila. Kaya binabati natin, of course, andyan din si Dr. Anita Kakam, si Dante at Letlet, thank you sa gift. Kay Sheila at hubby niya, si Engineer, a good friend of board member Ranjit Shahani, Engineer Paraino, thank you for hosting the event dyan sa Sungkoy, Calasiao. Si Jinky, na hanggang ngayon cute pa rin. Si Sita J, si Marites, si Engineer Joyce, ang Municipal Planning Officer ng Malasiki, si Maricel, si Maresa, at siyempre si Imelda, aka Buds. Sa mga boys naman, andyan si Dr. Mike G. Dr. Mike Go, si Commander Lindon and his beautiful wife na si Andrea, si Cesar, aka SG, at siyempre, ako rin. Sayang nga lang at wala si Attorney Cristita, aka Titay, na andito rin, nagbalikbayan, who was actually my seatmate. Antay kasi ng Saman, si arrangement na seatmate, seating arrangement ng Saman, boy-girl, boy-girl man. At si Attorney Cristita, si Katoy, seatmate ko. And Attorney Cristita is also among the cutest mula noon up to this day. Sayang nga lang, hindi siya nakahabol. Attorney Titay, good morning and happy birthday to your hubby. To Dante and Litlet, ingat sa biyahe, pauwi. Thank you sa pagmamahal, ha. Every now and then, lagi kayong may mga bit-bit for everyone. Thank you for your generosity, sharing your blessings. God bless you both always, and everyone, God bless. Ano ha? Okay, enough for the rhetorics. We go now straight sa mga issues and news natin sa araw na ito, mga kapaborito, ha. Good morning sa mga taga Binmalay, sa mga kapitan na galing ng Davao, sa mga senior citizens, good morning! Dyan po sa bayan ng Binmalay. Sa ating mga kapitan, nakauwi na ba kayong lahat ng mga barangay kapitan? Nakarating ba kayo ng maayos sa inyong mga barangay? At mabuti naman kung nakauwi na kayo sa inyong mga respected barangays. Balita ko nung nasa airport kayo, from Davao, mula sa Davao, pauwi na sana rito sa Pangasinan, totoo ba na pinabalik pa kayo muli doon sa Apo View Hotel? Kasi hindi na bayadan ng buo ang bill ninyo sa naturang hotel? Kawawa naman kayo kung sakali, ano? Alam niyo po, sa totoo lang, since Friday last week, nang maibalita natin ang pangyayari dyan sa Davao, lalo na't it seems na parang walang seminar na naganap to speak of kasi walang mga resource speakers. Alam niyo po, usually, kapag nagsiseminar ang mga barangay officials, lalo na yung mga barangay captains, the seminar is usually legally sanctioned by the Department of the Interior and Local Government. According to my classmate, na ngayon ay siya na po isang director ng DILG director sa isang bayan dito sa lalawigan ng Pangasinan. And sabi niya, there is now however a gray area. Kasi depende pala sa kung sino nakaupong secretary. There is now a gray area as to how to conduct a seminar. Kasi sabi nga natin, general rule is legally ang DILG dapat ang mag-sanction ng mga seminars na ganyan. But if ito naman ay being undertaken by a private organization, it is allowed. It is allowed. Okay. But however, during the time of Secretary Jess Robredo, remember Secretary Jess Robredo, the husband of then now Mayor, Naga City Mayor and former Vice President of the Republic of the Philippines, Leni Robredo. Siya po yun, no? During the time of Secretary Jess Robredo, Secretary Mar Rojas, and Secretary Anyo, ang strictly prohibited po yung mga intrusions ng mga private organizations. Lahat ng seminar, always being undertaken by the government, especially the Department of the Interior and Local Government. Yan as a general rule, no? That every seminar should be and must be sanctioned by the DILG. Pero with what happens sa Davao, it looks like ito ay being undertaken by a private organization, and the danger of this, gaya na nangyari, walang mga resource speakers. And the absence of resource speakers, in the absence of, kung walang mga resource speakers, I should say, therefore, there is no official seminar to speak of. So anong nangyari doon? Seminar o pamamasyal? Seminar o pamamasyal? Seminar in the guise of pamamasyal. So, siguro magandang linawin po natin yan, yung issue yan. And, by the way, sa ating mga senior citizens naman, dyan sa Binmalay, mukhang mag-oath taking na yung mga bagong elected, newly at saka yung mga re-elected na mga opisyal ng senior citizens dyan sa bayan ng Binmalay. May nakuha kasi akong kopya. It's a sulat, it's a letter mula sa Sangguniang Bayan addressed to your FISCAP President. And the letter goes like this, if I may, Office of the Sangguniang Bayan, February 19, 2026. Thursday po yun. Okay? Mrs. Purificación S. Bacani. Uy, kanayon ko niya siguro. FISCAP President, Binmalay, Pangasinan. Madam, greetings of love and peace. This pertains to the privileged speech delivered by Sangguniang Bayan member Bismarck V. Valerio and Sangguniang Bayan member Roberto A. Merera. Sangguniang Bayan member Roberto A. Merera Jr. during the privileged hour of the Sangguniang's regular session held on February 16, 2026. In his speech, Sangguniang Bayan member Valerio raised observations regarding complaints on the conduct of elections for the senior citizens presidents in several barangays of this municipality. Concerns were brought to attention that certain elections were allegedly conducted without prior notice or proper public information, and without coordination with the concerned offices such as the Department of the Interior and Local Government and the Municipal Social Welfare and Development Office, or MSWDO. It was also reported that the OSCA head was personally reading the votes during the process, when ordinarily designated election officers or members of the Electoral Board should perform such functions. The same was referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Laws, Rules, and Regulations, Committee on Senior Citizens and Veterans Affairs, and Committee on Barangay Affairs and Disaster Management of the Sangguniang Bayan. Sangguniang Bayan member Valerio emphasized that the concern is not against the conduct of elections per se, but rather on the observance of proper protocols and coordination with the appropriate agencies to ensure transparency and legitimacy of the process. Likewise, Sangguniang Bayan member Merera raised questions regarding the authority of the OSCA head to conduct the elections. It was reported that in some instances, the elections were allegedly conducted solely by the OSCA head, and that the counting of ballots was allegedly done without the presence of watchers, giving rise to perceptions of possible bias. Clarification was sought as to the legal basis or authority by which the OSCA head conducts and supervises such elections. In this regard, the committee respectfully invite your valued presence to attend the Joint Committee hearing scheduled on Monday, which is today, February 23, 2026 at 9:30 in the morning at the Sangguniang Bayan Session Hall to provide relevant information and clarification on the concerns raised by Sangguniang Bayan member Valerio and Sangguniang Bayan member Merera. Thank you. Respectfully yours, SBM Jose Carrera Jr., MD, MPH, Chairman, Committee on Ordinances, Laws, Rules and Regulations. SBM Roberto A. Merera Jr., Chairman, Committee on Barangay Affairs and Disaster Management. And by SBM Amilito A. Season, Chairman, Committee on Senior Citizens and Veterans Affairs. Noted by Honorable Edgar C. Mamenta, Municipal Vice Mayor and Presiding Officer. Noong nanonood tayo at atong tanagagig, the same observation was observed during the election process at the Agawad Barangay Basing. And there was a letter to that effect petitioning, asking the OSCA head to declare the nullification of election dyan po sa Barangay Basing. Pero to no avail. And there was even a threat. Totoo ba yan? And I believe the newly elected President, Madam Emma Lipio, can attest to that. Because she was also there. And she, being a woman of good standing in our barangay, and a church member herself, siguro naman, she would not dare lie. Ito during the process ng meeting with the former president, a retired teacher who spent years of her life teaching the future leaders of this country, and a board pastor at that, now an elderly, I think she also deserves the respect she truly deserved. Agaw na natin tanagagi kasi at sami dengdengalan ko conversation singa pantatamianda singa pantatamianday Madam Lita, and she was even threatened in the sense na sasampahan daw siya ng kaso, na irereklamo daw siya. And that leads me to another issue now. Yes, ay kuwang ko atatang tanagagig, is that not a violation of the BAUSI? Alam niyo po yung BAUSI, that is Republic Act number 9262, or the Anti-Violence Against Women and Dead Children Act of 2004. It is a Philippine law penalizing physical, sexual, psychological, and economic abuse against women and their children by intimate partners, husbands, ex-husbands, live-in partners, or dating partners, and it provides legal protections, including protection orders to ensure safety and hold abusers accountable. Dumako tayo doon sa psychological. Doon sa psychological at ating tanagagig, with respect to this law, nandun yung threats, humiliation, intimidation, or causing mental, emotional anguish. Hindi kaya to pasok sa BAUSI sa nangyaring ganun? Tanong ko lang po hindi naman po tayo abogado, pero sana maklaro din ito, kasi why do you have to say that? Bakit kinakailangan threaten mo sila ng ganun? They would like to question nga the process Ito na nga ang SBM, nagsalita ng si Board Member Valerio, Board Member Merera Jr. Na nakarating din sa kanila yung mga informations na ganyan. Diba? Tapos tinataasan ng boses, tinithreatened. Hindi ba yung mga ganyang actuations is also fit doon sa definition ng tyranny. What is tyranny? A tyranny is cruel, unreasonable, or arbitrary use of power or control. Hindi ba pasok yan sa tyranny din? Hindi rin ba pasok sa definition ng arrogance? And what is arrogance? Ito naman yung definition ng arrogance. The quality of having an exaggerated sense of one's own importance or abilities. Nagtatanong lang po tayo. Kasi if that's the case, napakakawawa naman yung mga senior citizens natin. The circumstances speaks of itself dun sa mga kaganapan, sa mga pangyayari, and confirmed by this letter invitation coming from the Sangguniang Bayan. Di ba? Ay nako, ano bang nangyayari? Sabi ni Bingsky, thank you so much for the precious time spent with you all. Yan. Thank you rin, Bingsky. Ingat sa biyahe, ha? Sige. Untuli, so sari balitan mo to, ha? Kaya rin inasarian na pakabatan pa imano malalapanid sana ay manangantabay.
Ang puta-putang Iran Balita.
Huwag niyo kong subukan.
I am sorry.
Kung walang kurap, walang mahirap.
My God, I hate trucks.
Mahiya naman kayo sa inyong kapwa Pilipino.
Ang puta-putang Iran Sunata.
Dami yung
Son ang puta-putang Iran Impormasyon. Aya sa #1 pop music station. DWJE 88.1 FM. Radyo Pangasinan.
paborito.
Want to escape the hustle and bustle of city life? Look no further than the River Palm Hotel and Resort, your premier destination for affordable luxury in Pangasinan. Nestled in the heart of Barangay Banyaga, Bugalyon, our hotel is surrounded by the breathtaking beauty of the Agno River. Our haven for comfort embodies the essence of Southeast Asian hospitality. Whether you're seeking a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or just a peaceful retreat, the River Palm Hotel and Resort is the perfect choice. So what are you waiting for? Book a tranquil experience where unforgettable memories are waiting to be made. For reservations and more information, visit our Facebook page, River Palm Hotel and Resort. Your home by the river awaits you.
Ngayong 2025 ay ang ika-100 taon ng pagbibigay serbisyong pangkalusugan ng Region 1 Medical Center. Bilang isa ng 1,500 bed capacity na ospital, mas marami pa ang mapapagaling at buhay na madudugtungan ng ospital. Di lamang sa Pangasinan kundi sa buong Northern Luzon sa tulong ng 12 accredited residency training programs at 13 active specialty centers nito: Cancer Center, Dermatology Center, Eye Center, Heart Center, Toxicology Center, Burn Care Unit, Center for Mental Health, Acute Stroke Unit, Geriatric Center, Infectious Disease Center, Kidney Transplant Unit, Lung Center, at Trauma Center. Patuloy na mangunguna ang R1MC sa pagpapaigting at pagpapaibayo ng dekalidad na healthcare delivery hanggang sa susunod na siglo. 100 years of healing, compassion, and service. Region 1 Medical Center, ang inyong partner sa kalusugan. Region 1, number 1.
Asahan po ninyo ang dekalidad na serbisyo sa Region 1 Medical Center at ng Department of Health. Ito po ang inyong lingkod, Dr. Joseph Roland Omihia, ang inyong Centennial Medical Center Chief ng R1MC. Sa bagong Pilipinas, bawat buhay mahalaga.
Hindi Ba napapasin ang inyong negosyo, mga kapaborito? Abay, magpa-advertise ka na dito sa DWJE 88.1 FM Radyo Pangasinan. We are located at the 3rd floor of Jumel Building, A.B. Fernandez East, Tagupan City. Or you may contact us at 0968-444-4290 or 0956-168-4908. O bueno, mga kapaborito, magpa-advertise na! Popular sa balita!
Taluran ka tao, naaktuan yaman na susugal, inaristo.
No ginawa miya duga sa trabaho tan talagan na iya at malat, no problem. Construction of flood control, Lagasit River, Balongaw, Santa Maria, 47 million.
Hindi pa nga nabubura sa kaisipan ng taong bayan yung mga ill-gotten wealth na yan eh.
No.
Diba?
At popular sa musika!
They say tanging ikaw ang katabi, riding in bed.
Ito po ang DWJE 88.1 FM Radyo Pangasinan, ang inyong number 1 pop music station. Jad Dagupan, walay saksakay ya radio station ya iyayag nasaray Dagupenyo. Jad Herrero,
Paborito.
Lasip Chico,
Paborito.
Lasip Grande,
Paborito.
Lumboy,
Paborito.
Lukaw,
Paborito.
Jet Maluwag,
Paborito.
Aya, so 88.1 Radyo Pangasinan.
Paborito ng kabataan at matatanda. Paboritong pakinggan sa bus, tricycle, jeep at mga opisina. Paborito mo, paborito ko, paborito nating lahat. DWJE 88.1 FM Radyo Pangasinan. DWJE 88.1 FM Radyo Pangasinan.
Paborito.
Alas 9:31 oras na natin. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin po ang Saray Balitan Matwa. SBM kontra Saray MBTF. Managbalitay tila tan fake news. Hello, good morning kay Mami Fanny. Sabi niya, good morning, Kuya Joseph from Mami Fanny, Ate Johnny and Kuya Bob from Bunuan Bukig. Ate Johnny, Kuya Bob, good morning. Kay Sir Maxi Solis, good morning. At syempre kay Nanay Bihing, dyan sa Barangay Basing. Yan. Magandang umaga po sa inyo, Nanay Bihing, ha? God bless you always. Balita ko, yung mga ibang barangay na may concern din, I think it's Bunlag, Lumboy, Dulag, and Caloocan Norte. Maganda rin na nagpatawag ang Sangguniang Bayan ng inquiry para sa susunod na eleksyon, wala nang mangyayaring ganyan. Hopefully. Hopefully. That is of course another after 3 years. Ay nako, ito pa, isa pa, mga kapaborito. Kamakailan, lumabas po sa social media, malakas po ang ugong sa social media na may hinaras, na may hinaras na convoy allegedly involving a presidential son, which was firmly denied. Malacanang has denied a report circulating online claiming that the convoy of a presidential son was harassed by several men aboard government vehicles allegedly registered to the Bulacan provincial government along the North Luzon Expressway o kaya INLEX. Pinabulaanan po yan ng Malacanang na involved ang isa sa mga umano'y anak ni Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Yan po talagang pinabubulaanan po nila. Pero ang tanong po natin, bakit bigla pong may show cause order? Bigla pong may show cause order kay Governor Daniel Fernando sa nangyaring road rage. If indeed, doon sa sinasabi ng Malacanang na walang nangyaring ganyan, talagang walang nangyari. Bakit ngayon may show cause order? Ito basahin natin yung show cause order mga kapaborito ha. At sinasabi kasi dito sa show cause order, ganire. Basahin muna natin. Show cause order. The to Provincial Government of Bulacan. Ayan. Registered owner of a Toyota Hilux with plate number SCC 1290, 10 MacArthur Highway, Ginhawa, Malolos, Bulacan, 3,000. The designated driver of Toyota Hiace with plate number SCC 1290. This has reference to the investigation being conducted by this office in relation to a reported road rage incident involving a convoy of 4 vehicles, namely a Toyota Land Cruiser with plate number DBP 8966V1, a Toyota Hilux with plate number SCC 1290V2, Vehicle 2 ang ibig sabihin niyan ha, a Toyota Hiace with plate number SAA 1466V3, and another Toyota Hiace with plate number NGR 1898B4 against a single Toyota Land Cruiser with plate number NFX 2938B5. Okay. Ito po yung nangyaring incident that at around 7:45 to 8:45 in the afternoon of February 21, agaw na Sabado man, 2026, along the southbound lane of the North Luzon Expressway or NLEX, Vehicle 5 attempted to overtake the convoy, which was occupying multiple lanes. The convoy allegedly pursued B5 with sirens, boxed it in, and forced it to stop. Approximately 10 men alighted from the convoy vehicles, surrounded B5, and allegedly harassed and threatened its driver and passenger. The men were also allegedly armed. When an enforcer approached to check disturbance, the men abruptly reboarded their vehicles and fled. In view thereof, you are hereby directed to appear before the Office of Intelligence and Investigation Division, Land Transportation Office, East Avenue, Quezon City, on February 24, 2026, Tuesday, bukas, at 2 p.m., and submit a verified or sworn comment explanation, attaching thereto pertinent original documents to rebut all the aforesaid allegations, or why should not be administratively charged for the violation of reckless driver or driving under Section 48 of Republic Act 4136, and why your driver's license should not be suspended or revoked or be disqualified from being granted one for being an improper person to operate a motor vehicle under Section 27, Paragraph A of Republic Act Number 4136 as amended by Section 7 of Batas Pambansa Bilang 398. In connection with the above-mentioned incident, including liability for any other violations or violation that may be established during the course of the investigation. Upon identification of the driver's license of the designated driver, it shall be preventively suspended for a period of 90 days. 90 days, pending the outcome of the ongoing investigation. Concurrently, the subject motor vehicle with plate number SAC 1290 and the driver's license shall be placed under alarm status. The designated driver is further directed to surrender their driver's license on the date of the scheduled hearing. Failure to appear and submit a verified or sworn comments explanation as required shall be construed by this office as a waiver of your right to be heard, and the case shall be decided based on the evidence at hand. You may opt to be assisted by a legal counsel. February 26, 21, 2026, Quezon City, by authority of the Assistant Secretary Renante Antoyay Melrante, Chief Intelligence and Investigation Commission. Ditan, nalaputan na tatang tanagagik at Land Transportation Office. So, no talaga. Tapat tayo tatang tanagagik, kung talagang walang nangyari na ganyan na incident, bakit merong ganitong sulat? Merong show cause order. So may nangyari nga. Nakakatakot nito. Ay, tungtungan aktualyatatang tanagagik. Yan, okay. Balik ka text ko maganda. Okay. So, sekwandaman lang tiyatatang tanagagik. Singa umpapawil tayo mo kwanda dimat siguro atatong tanagagik tani less than how many years labat la 26 natan 2017 less than 2 years election na naman agonta na tatong tanagagik and hopefully magkaroon tayo ng pag-asa pa hindi naman natin sinasabing walang pag-asa, makapkapoy, agaw tanagaging ito nakakapanghina kasi yung mga nakikita natin. Lalo na kapag nakikita mo yung mga ghost projects, mga tulay, na may tulay, wala namang karsada. May karsada pero lubak-lubak naman. It's very disappointing. Very disappointing at ating tanagagik na to think na trilyon ng pera ng Pilipinas pero napupunta saan? Nakakalungkot lang. Nakakalungkot. May nakita nga ako, furniture biruin mo, Engineer Nixon, tulay. Napakagandang tulay, concrete. Pero walang daan. May 10 tinutubuan na ng dika. Antuman. Purpose to may tulay. Anong purpose ng tulay na ginawa mo doon sa barangay? Bakit walang daan? Hindi nadadaanan, hindi nagagamit. So ano yun? Yun ang tanong natin mga kapaborito. Ano yun? By the way, good news para sa mga ladies, sa mga Katoliko, lalo na dito sa Lingayen Dagupan Archdiocese. Sino yung first bishop ng Lingayen Dagupan Archdiocese? Sige nga, tanungin ko kayo. Kung kilala nyo, kung sino yung unang bishop, hindi pa siya archbishop, bishop, sino yung pinakaunang bishop sa Lingayen Dagupan Archdiocese? Ang pinakaunang bishop sa Lingayen Dagupan Archdiocese o diocese ni, sama niya panahon na tatang tanagagig, ang tinutukoy po natin dyan, si Bishop Most Reverend Cesar Maria Guerrero E. Dominguez. Siya po yung first bishop natin dito sa Diocese of Lingayen Dagupan din. He was born on January 26, 1885. He exhibited a desire to the religious vocation and he entered the Jesuit. To be a Jesuit, he wanted to be a Jesuit. But his father initially directed him to simply study philosophy. After which, when he asked permission from his father to be a priest, he was instructed to have some career first. So he finished law in Santo Tomas, and father insisted on becoming a priest. Cesar studied at the Gregorian University in Rome and lived at the Latin American College. On October 28, 1914, he was ordained a priest in Rome. He returned to the Philippines, becoming an assistant parish priest in Binondo in 1915. Then he would later become chaplain of the Hospicio de San Jose in 1917. He went up to the mountains for missionary work in San Mateo Rizal, but this was cut short due to malaria. He was consequently appointed as secretary to the Archbishop of Manila, Michael O. Doherty. He was appointed as the first bishop of Lingayen Dagupan on February 22, 1929. The bishop-elect Cesar struggled long to accept the appointment, but had to surrender to the will of God. 2 months later, he would be consecrated as a bishop on May 24, 1929, on the Feast of Mary Help of Christians by Archbishop Michael James O. Doherty of Manila, with Bishop Alfredo Versosa and Bishop Santiago Catagnan Sancho as co-consecrators. On the same year, 1929, he planned to establish a seminary in Binmali, Pangasinan. The seminary in Pangasinan was consequently named after Mary Help of Christians, after the new bishop was gifted with an image of Mary Help of Christians from the then papal legate, Salesian Archbishop William Piani. Bishop Guerrero expressed his desire to remove all stain and danger of immorality among the clergy of the diocese. So, nung namatay siya, si Bishop Guerrero at ating Tanagagik, siya po ay nilibing sa Carmelite Monastery grounds in Angeles, Pampanga at age 76. Bakit po natin binabanggit ngayon ang pangalan ni Bishop Cesar Maria Guerrero Dominguez at ating Tanagagik? Simply because binuksan po ng Vatican City yung possible na siya ay ma-elevate to be canonized as saint at ating Tanagagik. So binuksan na po ng Vatican City ang may pangkanawnawa ya posibleng nailista sa ngaranan Bishop Guerrero at saray listahan na saray sa Santos at tawa na tatang Tanagagik. So this is an honor. It's an honor for the faithful in Lingayen Dagupan Archdiocese. The Vatican has granted the request of the Archdiocese of Lingayen Dagupan to open the cause for beatification and canonization of servant of God Cesar Maria Guerrero y Rodriguez, the first bishop of Lingayen. The approval allows the local church to formally investigate his life, virtues, and reputation for holiness as it prepares for the centennial jubilee of the Diocese of Lingayen in 2028. Ayan ha. Yan yung ating alamin portion ng SMV Sari Balitan Matwa. For the record, historical information. Alas 9:48 oras na natin sa Balitan Matwa, Kolop Cantabay ni Lawas yung kapaborito, Lawas yung kaaro, Joseph Kanilang Bakani. Wala may pasikmatan ko at ating Tanagagik interview at kinan Vice President Sara Duterte. In-explain to, no akin ang gapon na nang at sa may press conto, so sa may seal of the Vice President, Tanong kasi, wala lang kasi partner to. Ya running mate to na ani. Dungalanti pa. Si Vice President Sara Duterte.
Kasi yung declaration ko na tatakbo akong Pangulo ng Pilipinas, wala naman kasing kinalaman yun sa Office of the Vice President. So, meron pa rin akong trabaho hanggang ngayon bilang pangalawang Pangulo, pero meron akong dinagdag na gagawin ko. At yun yung pagpipresenta sa aking sarili para sa taong bayan na tumakbong Pangulo. Kaya pinatanggal ko yung seal at yung flag ng Office of the Vice President. Yung itim naman ay kulay ng protesta. Protesta laban sa administrasyon ni BBM, ni Marcos. So yun yung kulay na napili namin noong 2025, noong tumakbo yung mga senators ng PDP laban. Napili ni Senator Amy Marcos din, itim, dahil yun yung nararamdaman ko nagluluksa dahil bakit umabot na sa ganito yung bayan natin, and nagluluksa dahil napakadilim noong nakikita kong kinabukasan natin sa administrasyon ni BBM. Yung turning point ko na tinanggap ko na yung kagustuhan ng mga tao na tumakbo akong Pangulo, yun yung napansin ko, narinig ko sa mga nakakausap ko na mga hindi ko kilala. Halimbawa, pumupunta ako ng sabihin na natin sa Masbate o sa Samar o eto lang, bago lang, galing ako sa Zamboanga City. Merong mga tao na hindi naman nila ako kilala. Alam nila si Sara Duterte ako, pero hindi nila ako kilala bilang isang kaibigan o isang tao. Tapos nagsasabi sila, lumaban ka, lumaban ka. Nagsasabi sila ng ganon. At napapansin ko na simula noong 2022, bago mag-eleksyon, bago mag-file ng candidacy, ganon na rin yung sinasabi ng mga tao tumakbo kang Pangulo. Pero syempre ako, hindi ako nakikinig doon kasi paniwala ko noong panahon na yon, dapat ako tumakbong alkalde ng Davao. Tapos nung nirecruit ako para tumakbong Vice President, naisip ko, okay, sige, gagawin ko to para sa mga pagtutuloy ng proyekto ni dating Pangulong Duterte at syempre na rin para sa kagustuhan, ibigay yung kagustuhan ng mga tao. Hindi ko man naibigay na tumakbo akong presidente, pero nabigay ko sa kanila na tumakbo akong Vice President.
Yun. Yun po yung explanation ni Vice President Sara Duterte. At kung sino yung magiging katandem niya, kumuha na siya ng isang katandem niya na siyang hahabol. Hindi pwedeng walang managot kanto hahabol doon sa dapat managot. Siguro, she's referring to itong mga nangyayaring flood control fiasco and other things. Ito para makapag-concentrate naman siya, kung sakali man, napalaran at ating tanagagi kakuntan, ayaw niro nga presidente, si katulad layman trabaho bilang president. But the vice president, her vice president later on, kung manalo mo at ating tanagagi, ayun daw ang habol sa mga dapat habulin. Sino kaya yung mga hahabulin? Ay, tuya so nababasa mo tayo. It hit deep in the Palawan Block. This is a very rare quake. This area is usually stable. Watch for incoming shallow quakes in the 4.5 or higher range for Philippines, especially Palawan, Zamboanga, Brunei, and Malaysia the next 72 hours. Agigyan, tuya. Ang tuya impost na kyan, Sir Jonathan. Sa kwanto, dapat puspusan ng earthquake drills ngayon. Alwar-alwar labat at atang tanagagik, alwar-alwar labat. Hello, good morning kay Sir Jerome. Say kwanto, have a blessed Monday. Malinlinis sa kabuasan. God bless us all kwanto. Likewise kay Brother Alvin Sandoval, sabi niya, good morning Brother Joseph. Congratulations to former Mayor Lingayen Mayor Leopoldo Batawil, Class 76 awardee, and happy birthday kay Councilor Jonathan T. Ramos. Yon, Councilor Jonathan, happy birthday, ha? Oh, kay Bingsky, ingat-ingat ulit. Ito pa sa mga balita po natin sa araw na to, mga kapaborito. Umpisahan na raw yung 4 na araw ihihinto ng International Criminal Court ang proceedings laban kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte kung hindi ko kumpirmahin ng mga judges ng Pretrial Chamber 1 ang mga kinakaharap niyang kaso. Sa question and answer sa website ng ICC tungkol sa gagawing confirmation of charges hearing, nakasaad sa natatlo ang posibleng mangyari rito, kabilang na ang pagpapahinto ng proceedings laban kay Duterte kung wala silang makikitang sapat na ebidensya para suportahan ang mga kaso. At kasama rin sa pwedeng mangyari ang paghingi ng mga karagdagang ebidensya o pag-amyenda sa mga kaso. Pero kahit isa lamang o lahat ng binibintang kay Duterte ay makumpirma, si Duterte ay tuturing ng akusado at saka pa lamang sisimula ng paglilitis sa isang trial chamber. Nilinaw din na ang confirmation of charges hearing ay hindi isang trial at ang layunin ng confirmation of charges hearing ay makita kung may sapat na ebidensya na susuporta sa lahat ng mga kasong ibinibintang kay Duterte. Ang pagdinig ay tatagal ng mahigit sa 4 na araw mula Pebrero 24 hanggang 27 kung saan makikita kung nakapagpresenta ng sapat na ebidensya ang mga prosecutors upang magpatuloy ang trial. Uupo sa confirmation proceedings ang 3 judges sa Pre-Trial Chamber 1 na kinabibilangan nila Presiding Judge Yulia Antonella Mutok, Judge Rene Alapini Ganzu at Judge Maria del Socorro Flores de Liera. Kapag kinumpirma ng mga judges ang mga kaso ni Duterte, ay tutuloy ang trial laban sa kanya. Ito maganda, serbisyo muna bago politika. Ay nako, maraming ganire. Serbisyo muna bago politika. Alam nyo kung kanino galing ito? Ay kay Pangulong PBBM. Ito po ang sinabi ng Pangulo matapos po niyang inspeksyonin ang mga flood control projects at tignan ang sitwasyon sa Bicol River Basin kung saan kasama niyang nag-ikot si Robredo, si Naga City Mayor Lenny Robredo at Public Works and Highways Secretary Vince Dizon. Maraming mga salitang pwede nating ma-remember si BBM. Mahiya naman kayo sa kapwa nyo Pilipino. Tapos ito na naman, serbisyo muna bago politika. Very similar ito. Serbisyo muna bago politika. Ay, agi. Ang kapalay malam, may oras sa atin talaga. Ang tabayan ang susunod kaagad ang number 1 ni Kapaborito Joy Baby. See you again tomorrow sa isang edisyon ng ating Saray Balitan Matwa. SBM kontra Saray MBTF. Managbalitay tilatan fake news. Akalabakan tabi lang ula sa lawas yun kapabrito lawas yun karo Joseph Kanilang Bakani. Ontan mat kantabay te technical side. Si END, Engineer Nixon Dakal. Sige po mga kapaborito, bukas ito lamang sa number 1 pop music station na lalawigan ng Pangasinan, DWJ 88.1 FM Radio Pangasinan, paborito!
Ang inyong napakinggan ay isang bayad na programa. Anumang opinyon, balita o pahayag ay walang kinalaman ang himpilang ito. SBM Saray Balitan Matwa ed Radyo Pangasinan. Programan magipasabi na Saray Matuan nagagawa ed balay, probinsya, bansa, tanjat intiron mundo. SBM Saray Balitan Matwa ed Radyo Pangasinan. Kaulok, Kaantabayo, say lawas karo tang kapaborito yo. Joseph Kanilang Bakani. SBM Saray Balitan Matwa ed Radyo Pangasinan. Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 9 hanggang alas 10 na kabuwasan. SBM Tired of the stress and noise of the city? And looking for the perfect getaway? Good thing there's JMax Resort Hotel. Cozy rooms, a refreshing pool, and a peaceful escape for the whole family. Whether you are on a trip, a barkada outing, or even solo retreat, JMax Resort Hotel is the perfect destination. So pack your bags, leave the stress behind, and discover the place where relaxation meets comfort. JMax Resort Hotel, your perfect place for any kind of occasions. JMax Resort Hotel is located at Villanueva Street, Poblacion Norte, Santa Barbara, Pangasinan. For inquiries, you may call at 0947-980-3263 or 075-636-8479. JMax Resort Hotel.
Ganito ang tunog ng sulit. Red Horse Beer. Masarap. Suabe sa bawat patak. Ang pagre-relax, mapapasarap. Sulit ang inuman ng barkada. Pasarap ka muna. Kasangga mo sa relax sarap.